Hello, hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar organized by DocCity in partnership with Columbus State University. My name is Carolina, nice to meet you all, and I'll be your host for today's event on behalf of DocCity. So I see here that the first people are already starting to join in. We're gonna wait a few minutes before starting to allow everyone to connect. In the meantime, feel free to say hi on our chat here in Zoom, and please tell us where you're from since we are very curious. So, first of all, I want to thank everyone for joining us and thank our panelists for being here with us today. As you can see here, I'm not alone. I want to introduce you all to Kristen Shaw, International Student and Scholar Services Coordinator, Rania Hothod, Professor and Edwin and Florette Rothschild Chair, and John Finley, Department Chair and Associate Professor. Welcome. It's a real pleasure to have you here. Okay, so together with them, if you're interested in business or computer science, this is the right place to be because you'll learn about top-tier programs, career opportunities, and student success stories. So you're going to hear from faculty, alumni, and industry experts who will share insights on thriving in these dynamic fields. Also, you're going to discover how Columbus State University can equip you with the knowledge, skills, and connections to succeed. So, a lot of things to learn and to hear from. And you'll also have the possibility to interact with our speakers and ask them questions. And talking about that, I'd like to remind you that after the presentation, we will have a Q&A session where you'll be able to ask direct questions to the panelists. So don't be shy and just put all your questions in the Q&A section here in Zoom, and we'll go through them at the end of the webinar. Also, another important information for you, for those of you interested in receiving a certificate of attendance by DocCity, stay tuned because we will post the link to get the certificate at the end of the session. Okay, I see some other participants join us, and so welcome to those of you who just joined us. And without further ado, I think that I can now leave the floor to our panelists for their presentation. So enjoy this webinar and see you later. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am Christine Shaw. I'm the International Student and Scholar Services Coordinator at Columbus State University here in Columbus, Georgia. Today, again, we have joining us some faculty members from the various areas that you hopefully are interested in, and we would love to see you at our university. So I'm going to show you a little bit, some slides and pictures about Columbus State and to give you an idea about who we are, what the university looks like, and the offerings that we have. So this is a beautiful shot of our River Park campus. We have two campuses, our main campus and our River Park campus in Columbus, Georgia. And again, I'm the coordinator that works with all of our international students. I process all the international admissions. So your application, once it comes in, I will process that and all of your documents as well. And then I will issue the I-20 document that you will use to apply for and to get your visa. Again, we have Dr. Rania Hothod. She is in the School of Computer Science, and she'll be giving you some information about that area. And Dr. John Finley, again, he's in Marketing and Management in the Turner School of Business. We'll cover that as well. So Columbus, Georgia. We are about 90-minute drive from Atlanta. So as you know, Atlanta, Georgia, that is a hub in this area of the country for Delta Airlines. And it's a major area for you to be able to get to other areas of the United States. And it is a global city and one of the busiest airport, actually. The metropolitan population in the area is about 329,000, which is of Columbus and this area. And we are the second largest city in the state of Georgia. We have a city of fine arts, classical and Broadway music, outdoor adventure, and obviously it's home to Columbus State University. And here is where we're located. So as you know, Georgia, the state of Georgia, and then Atlanta. And the star right here is where Columbus, Georgia is located. And as you see, so we are in the southeast part of the United States. So that means we are in a warmer area of the country. So not a lot of ice and snow. If you don't love that, then this is the place to be. We did actually have some snow a few weeks ago, and it was not very much, but it shut us down. And so we worked virtually, and the area of the city and county basically was, yeah, again, shut down since we don't have snow tires and we're not that used to cold temperatures. So that doesn't happen very often, again, as I say. So if you like a warmer climate, this is where you need to be. So we do have the longest urban whitewater rafting in the world. It's actually a man-made. It's on the Chattahoochee River, which is a long river that goes through the state of Georgia. And then they worked on that to also increase it, make some man-made changes to it to make it the longest urban whitewater rafting area. We have a lot of competitions here for that and a lot of people that come to the area just to be or to go through this experience. So, and you can actually take part in this. There are tours that you can go down and you see here the raft. You can do that as well. You don't have to be a professional whitewater rafter. So we all have that, and we have kayaking and that kind of thing as well. So to give you an idea of Columbus State University itself, we have about 8,000 students, which includes ELI, that's the English Language Institute, for undergraduate programs or students, and also graduate students in that number. We have about 90 undergraduate and graduate, so postgraduate degree options, and we have nationally recognized programs in the arts, education, business, and many other areas, science, computer science, robotics, all of that. We are fully accredited, so Columbus State is accredited by SACS, and which is very important as well. And then we are also ranked as a top public regional university in the American South, as per US News and World Report. And here are some of the accreditations that we have. We have 4 colleges, so that it may be called something different in your particular country. So college is the different areas that we have. The College of the Arts, so that would include obviously art, theater, and that kind of thing. We have Turner College of Business and Technology, the College of Letters and Sciences, so that would be like natural, biology, chemistry, that kind of thing, and the College of Education and Health Professions, which is nursing, education, and those options. So some strengths of our university, we are an affordable public university, so you can look at, we'll go over some of the costs coming up, but compared to other universities in this area and in other parts of the country, we're really very affordable. We have a high level of student service, so we focus on the student here at Columbus State. Our professors know their students, and that is because we do have a smaller size classes so that the professors can interact with the students and get to know them. We have career readiness focus, so that means we do have a Center for Career Development, and they are focused specifically on helping you not only during your studies, but also afterwards, when they will assist you with preparing resumes, job interview skills, even providing you with free interview clothing, so suits and, professional attire that you would need to go through an interview for a job interview. We also have applied learning and research opportunities. So again, student-centered, I mentioned that. So we have excellence in teaching for small classes, active research, where students engage in applied research, and experiential learning, which means internships, study abroad, and conferences that you can take part in. For study abroad, I know you're already basically would be studying abroad if you come to Columbus State as an international student, but you can also study abroad with us, which means that you would go to another country and take part in a study abroad program. You would actually be taking a class for credit that would go towards your major and study abroad again in a different country. The tuition we talked about, and we'll go into some more detail about that later as well. affordability. So for the English Language Institute, that is if you're coming to study English. If you want to first increase your English skills before you go to an undergraduate or graduate program, you can do that. And that can be for one semester. It can be for up to 2 years if you need. And then you can matriculate or move into an undergraduate or graduate program. The cost of that is right here, the $4,210 per semester, but that is a full-time program as required by your F1 student visa. So it is a Monday through Friday. Every day it meets from 9 till 2, and that meets the full-time requirement of that. Undergraduate programs are approximately this amount per year, and then graduate tuition, it depends on the program. For I-20 purposes, and again, I'll go over this with you in a little more detail later, for me to issue the I-20 once you're accepted to CSU, the full cost of the program, I know I said in the other slide it was $21,000. This includes housing, meals, mandatory health insurance, living expenses, everything you would need for 1 year of study to attend here. Okay. And then again, that includes everything, including books and everything else that I mentioned. We do have scholarship opportunities. So we have what's called the International Student Service Scholarship. It's actually a waiver of tuition, but we call it a scholarship. And basically, it is, again, a waiver of tuition that is, you would normally pay as an international student out of country tuition, which is higher than what US domestic students pay. This scholarship, if you're accepted for it, will reduce that tuition to in-state tuition. Okay. To be able to apply for that, you have to be accepted again to the university. You have to have a US GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you submit some recommendation letters to us, and then that will be then reviewed for acceptance. We also have what's called the English Bridge program that works in conjunction with our ELI program that I already talked about. But this is for undergraduate students who it's designed to allow them to take English language classes at the same time as some undergraduate basic core classes. Okay, so you will take English language classes again every day, as I mentioned before, but then you also will be allowed to take undergraduate classes at the same time for credit. So English ELI, the English language program, is not for credit, but again, you can take undergraduate classes that are for credit and then kind of get a jump start or start working on the courses that you would need to be able to start your undergraduate program after that. And this is the only program of its kind in the state of Georgia. We are the only university in the university system that offers this. So that is really something unique that we have. We do have several students that take advantage of this every semester. And as I mentioned, study abroad. So international students can also study abroad. And then this is a group of students that Dr. Spears took to Strasbourg. He led the program there. One of our study abroad programs. I'm trying to see if he is on the picture. Oh, I can't tell. But anyway, this is at the European Parliament in Strasbourg, France, for where that study abroad program took place. Another study abroad program that we're very proud of is our CSU in Oxford, England program and the Spencer House. So the Spencer House, that's at the top right here, you'll see that is a house, an Edwardian home that CSU owns, where students go to live while they're in Oxford and taking part in the Oxford program. These are some pictures of Oxford. This is the front area of the house. And then some street shots for Oxford as well. We have some short-term programs that go to Oxford in the summer. So they're about 10 days, 12 days long. And you can stay at the Spencer House. Those are faculty-led programs by CSU faculty. We also have semester-long programs in Oxford. So you would live at the house for the entire semester. You would attend one of the universities of Oxford while you are studying there. So we have partnerships with Regent's Park College, St. Anne's, St. Catherine's, and a new partnership too with Oxford Brookes University. So you have all of those options for attending an Oxford University while studying at CSU as well. All right, so this is actually going to be me. So I just presented the part that our director normally presents. He is actually in Oxford at the moment, doing some work, so he wasn't able to join us. So when it says meet your advisor, that's actually me. So the International Admissions F1 Advising on the next slide. Yay, there I am. And so again, international admissions is what I process. This is a sample I-20 document that you would get after you are admitted to CSU, and that is what I process and issue for you. All right, so we are going to focus next on computer science at CSU, and I am going to introduce again Dr. Rania Hadhad and let her present some information about that area. And take it away, Dr. Hadhad. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shaw. Appreciate it. Hi, everyone. My name is Rania Hadhad. I am the chair of the thesis School of Computer Science. If I may, I would like to share my screen with you all. So 1 second. So our thesis School of Computer Science, let me just make sure that you can see my screen. Awesome, thank you. So we are the Turner College of Business and Technology, and this is where technology and business meet, and this is where Dr. Finley and myself belong to. So in our Turner College of Business and Technology, we have 3 departments: Department of Marketing and Management, Department of Accounting and Finance, and the Thesis School of Computer Science. I'll be talking about the Thesis School of Computer Science and the programs we have there, and I'll leave the business side to Dr. Finley. So we definitely care about the students. We are a student-focused university, and in the Thesis School of Computer Science, definitely our motto is Create You. And a little bit about our school: we have over 500 undergraduate students. We have different types of scholarships and opportunities, funding opportunities for our students. Especially, we have freshman scholarship, and this is also different from what Ms. Shaw talks about for the international students. So we have more scholarships on our side as well. We offer internships, co-ops, opportunities for our students, study abroad programs, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more. We have 6 student organizations and over 100 graduate students. A little bit about our undergraduate programs. We have 3 bachelor degrees: BS in Information Technology, BS Computer Science, and BS Cybersecurity. For the computer science program, we have 3 different tracks: games programming track. This actually focuses on designing and development of games. And we use some of the actually industry kind of tools, for example, Unity game engine, if some of you might be familiar with that engine, web development, and software development. So these are the main tracks we have at undergraduate level. For the graduate level, we have 2 master's programs: the Applied Computer Science, which actually has 3 different concentrations: AI and data science, software systems, and general. And general pretty much is like bits and pieces from each of these programs, where students are not really, lenient towards any of these in particular. So they have the general concentration. We also have the MS Cybersecurity. We have 2 concentrations students can choose between. One is the Cybersecurity Defense, more on the programming side of cybersecurity, and we have the Cybersecurity Management, which is a mix between management in the area of cybersecurity and cybersecurity side. Internships: we work with many companies in order to allow for internship opportunities for our students. For example, AFLAC, TSIS, Mozilla Firefox. We have a couple of students there: Delta Data, Synovus, and SunTrust. So these are just some examples from the companies we work with and where our students have internships. Study abroad programs: we are very proud of our programs. So for the Thesis School of Computer Science in particular, we led several programs to Japan. This is Dr. Khan, our former chair for the School of Computer Science. He and I led this program to Japan a couple of years ago, and you can see how oh my gosh, I'm trying just to point to the student here working with the Japanese students, in that session. And these are our students at the museum, looking at the different technologies in Japan, and we managed to visit these wonderful places there. This is, by the way, the most advanced humanoid robot in the world, which is a Honda production. And we managed to see the live show for that robot. Student organizations, we have 6 organizations in particular: ACM1, which is the Association for Computing Machinery; Black Box, focus on cybersecurity; Board Games; Stars Alliance, Women in Technology. So these are the most popular organizations we have. And research projects. We are very proud of how we help our students or guide and mentor our students in terms of research. We have our students, undergrad and grad, work together on research projects. I mean, they can work individually, but also they can work as a team, to develop certain applications and platforms. These are some of those are my projects, actually. Like, I worked with my students. This is an undergraduate student who worked on developing a game using augmented reality technology. So when you scan, for example, this stamp here, like you see the board, then this alien pop up on the screen, and then the user interact with it. This is, for example, educational game to teach students about physics, like position, velocity, acceleration, relationship between these. So it was interdisciplinary kind of project between computer science and physics students and professors. And we enjoy doing interdisciplinary work, by the way. We work with our robotics engineering program. So our students can work on projects with robotics engineering students. We work with physics, math, music. So we definitely very interdisciplinary when it comes to these types of experiential learning experiences for our students. These are just like our, I would say, wall of fame here. So this is one of our students who finished one of top 3 in the world for the IBM Master, the mainframe competition. So he was hired by IBM definitely after he was one of the winners. So the 3 winners were hired by IBM after that competition. Ms. Shaw mentioned going to conferences. You can see in the picture here that this is me, actually, and a professor taking students to present at a conference. Each of these students worked on a research project, and they were taken to the conference. And by the way, we funded the whole trip for them. So we pay for everything, and they were able to present their work and also, network with other students and professors. This is Dr. Khan also. Here's, for example, one of my students. I think he won the 3rd place at that conference. This is the presentation award. Again, this is another CSU student winning the poster, best presentation poster award. This is another student of ours winning the best science paper in a undergraduate conference. This is a state level conference. So you can see our students are achieving, really high standards here. Couple more things. We are also recognized by different parties. We are #1 top online masters in computer science by GoGrad. We are #4 most affordable programs. #3 best online master's degree in computer science. #12 most affordable online masters in computer science, and #25 best online masters in CS by College Choice. For the undergraduate level in information technology in particular, we are #21 for online, our online program. I think this is our website. You can have more information about all our programs here by clicking on those links. But I want to just highlight our faculty members. We have a diverse body of faculty. You can see we have Dr. Peker, Dr. Ray, Dr. Wan, but you can see, we have different nationalities here. So we are very diverse, very international. We understand we have that empathy and understanding of how our students feel when they come to campus, especially international students. This is myself here. We are like different ethnic backgrounds, and we all have open door policy. We care for our students who are very student focused. We support our students to the maximum. This is all what I can share really about our faculty member here. All of them are very nice, very approachable, open office, open door, policy. They care. We care. I believe this is pretty much it on my side about the School of Computer Science. I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Finley. I'll be more than happy to take questions at the end of the presentation. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Hadhad, and thank you everyone for being here. This is an outstanding opportunity. I think it's a two-way street. My department is the management and marketing department, but the overall business programs include not only in my department, but also in finance and accounting. So let me just show you real quick some things that I have here. I'll share screen, show you some programs. I wanted to kind of emphasize a little bit on AACSB accreditation as well. Actually, one of the first things I wanted to say was I don't know if you remember the like the rafting photo, but yeah, that is really an incredible experience, and it's so usually something like that you would have to the logistics are pretty involved. You would have to travel somewhat far to go do such things, but I don't know. It's sort of right down the street where you put into the water, and it's done most of the year. So if you are students where you're here in the fall semester, there's plenty of time to do it then, or spring semester, let alone during the summer. Um, so I want to share some things about our programs, why study business. Um, we do strategic planning as well. So we try to stay on top of what you as students need to know, or we hope we're thinking correctly, what we think you should know in terms of especially in terms of career readiness, getting a job, so that is, just doing employable things as much as possible. So I'll share a few of those things too. But let me do some screen sharing here. I think I can do that. Let's see, share. We'll go right in here. And I think we are synced up there. If not, let me know. Okay, so I just want to, just an overview of the businesses, and let me know if you cannot see my screen. I'm thinking that you can. So general business, where there's a management degree, management with a focus in entrepreneurship. So if you want to start your own business, or that is maybe a business model that already exists, or if you have a new idea. An innovation or invention or something like that. So also management information systems is another program we have. And then also we have a marketing degree. In the finance and accounting department, that's relatively straightforward in terms of the naming of the department. There is a finance degree, and there also is an accounting degree. So that's a little bit more. We have some quantitative in our area, some quantitative themes in our area, but the finance and accounting, those are very, those are a little bit heavier overall quantitative. Wanted to jump over here real quick. I assume you can still see this, but just AACSB accreditation, Global Standard of Excellence. It's basically a quality control shop for colleges of business. So, and they set standards, and we try to do things in the College of Business to maintain accreditation with them. That is to continue to achieve the standards that we set for ourselves that ACSB deems as quality for a school of business. And so strict quality standards, so that's dealing with what we teach, the curriculum, the faculty, how we work with the faculty, what faculty we hire. So recognized as top business schools in the world, leaders in teaching, research, and societal impact. And let me say this too: the size of the university. Shaw pointed out the size of the university. So we're not talking a university with 20,000 or 30,000 people. So what that means is that smaller size means you get more attention from the faculty. So there's arguably richer, or at least more, per capita engagement among the faculty members and the students, which is, I would say, definitely one of our strong points. Like when I'm in the classroom, I mean, I don't know if I ever speak or talk to the students. I almost feel like it is always I am speaking or talking with the students. That is trying to make it a conversation. So just trying to make the subject matter more real to the students, with the local examples, or in your case, I looked at the list of names, and I don't readily know where everyone's from, but it seems like maybe you're from a from quite a variety of countries. So, there's local to that is, Columbus, but there's also local to you, the reality you're coming from. And so trying to just meet in the middle as much as possible in terms of learning the subject matter. And so that's something we try to do. And then a few things on why to study business. Why to study business and technology. I mean, both of these are the same. So I want to point out that computer science and business, the technology and business, we work very well together. In fact, when some of you may be here as students, there will be a new series of courses offered, which are denominated river courses. I won't go into the details of that, but they're very creative. They count. They'll count in the regular overall hours that one needs to get for a course, and I think they're going to be very interesting. And I am working with someone in computer science, and so far that's been a really rich experience. We're putting together a good course. But you see here communication, leadership, critical thinking, financial management. I wanted to point out too, I mentioned before, that we do strategic planning. And so there's some things, one of the main things that we have on the strategic plan, I'm going to stop sharing for right now, is student success. So, I mean, y'all are the main deal for us. And so let me just read a few things that we're trying to focus on. And so I'm focusing on, I'm having my faculty members, the professors focus on. So we want to try to integrate as much as possible AI, artificial intelligence, into the curriculum. So that's something that's ongoing. Not, and I could say I just integrated AI into this webinar because Google. I mean, if you Google things now, it's AI, but I mean, I'm talking, deeper than that. Another thing we want to do is we want to increase the number of career building activities for the students. So, that can be career fairs, that can be maybe how to interview, that can be, just a continuous learning process, learning, relearning, unlearning if need be, just to prove to whoever you're interviewing with that you are a solid, lifetime or lifelong learner. Because I think that's really, really important for an individual to pursue, is that ability to learn. And that's what employers seek. Because it's not necessarily the case that we specifically train the students for maybe a very specific job here locally, or maybe in your local area if you return to your country of origin to work. Whereas it's more of a learning, problem solving, critical thinking, and things like that. And I teach Excel and international business. So if you do pursue a business degree, then both of those courses are required. So the Microsoft Excel application, for example, some of you have probably used that, maybe all of you. But that's very useful in the workforce. Another thing we try to do is increase the number of occasions in which you engage with someone from the community, maybe from industry, from a business, maybe from our local chamber of commerce. I mean, it could even be with the mayor, the leader, the mayor of our city, for example. But I think there's more I could add, but if you can, come here, get a degree, maybe even try to get an internship. Ms. Shaw, is that something that's an option for them, getting an internship?
It is, and we can talk about that in just a moment. Yes.
Because because like Ms. Shaw said, you coming here, that's essentially a pretty rich study abroad experience in and of itself. So if you get degree, say English is not your first language, everyday English practice, and some type of work experience. I mean, let's just put it this way: you would have a lot to say or talk about with someone interviewing you, which incidentally I think can make you less nervous about it. You just you have more experience. I'll stop there and I'll hand it back over to Ms. Shaw. And thank you everyone again for being here. This is really exciting.
Thank you, Dr. Finley. That was really good information. Exactly. You'll be a global member of society, basically, coming here to study abroad, get a degree, learning about employment, and how to prepare for that employment. All of that is rolled into one, definitely. I'm going to share my screen and give you some information about the admissions process, and a little bit bigger here. All right, the requirements for admission. I'll just go over that real quickly, and then we can start going to the questions that you have put into the Q&A as well. So for international student admissions, we have, obviously, you complete an online application. You do, if you need to show that you have proof of English proficiency. So if your native language is not English, then you will need to show proof of that. We won't go into detail here about that, but I can definitely give you more information if you like in future. And then you will also need what's called a professional transcript evaluation of your foreign transcripts. And that is, let's say you just graduated or will graduate high school in your country, then you will have that transcript, that diploma evaluated, maybe even translated, so that it will be converted to the US system, and it will show that you have the equivalent of a US high school diploma, and it will also give us a GPA, which is a grade point average. That is required for you to gain admission into any of our programs. We don't need official transcripts. That's on here for a different purpose, so we will skip that. Basically, the deadlines for admission are, so for fall semester, we have a fall admission and a spring admission for new students. So fall begins August, usually mid-August, even though that's still kind of summer. We start our fall semester in August and it goes through mid-December. The 1st of May is the application deadline. So for you to submit that online application is that deadline. The 1st of June is the deadline to submit documents, all of your documents. So the above documents I mentioned, proof of English proficiency, transcript evaluation, and any other documents a program might need or require for admission. Now, that said, know that it is best the sooner you submit your documents, the better, obviously, so that I can then issue you the I-20 and you can make a visa appointment. The 1st of June is a little bit late for some countries for us to get all your documents, get you accepted, and issue the I-20, because that only gives you basically June and July to apply for a visa to get here for August. So the sooner you apply and the sooner you submit your documents, the better for you and for us. Spring semester, that is a January start date, so that starts the 1st week in January, and those deadlines are the 1st of October and the 1st of November. Okay. Once you're accepted for admission, then for me to issue you the I-20 document for you to get your visa, you also have to submit financial documentation. So that is to show the US government basically that you have enough money to be able to study and live here, okay, during your studies. And that's because even though you can work somewhat while you are here on an F1 visa, the visa is not for employment purposes, okay? So that's why you have to show that you have enough funding for tuition and fees, housing, meals, that kind of thing. So you would finish or fill out this financial guarantee form that shows who has the funding, how much funding each person has to support your studies. And then for each of those people that you list as providing funding, so that could be you, your parents, a family member, a sponsor, like a business owner, a community member, whoever you list on the financial guarantee, you must also submit for them a bank statement or bank letter that shows that they have the money that you say they do to cover your studies. And then, of course, I need a copy of your passport so I can issue that I-20 as well, and it needs to be valid as well. Okay. I will stop there. Let me stop sharing and I will check with Carolina. She has looked at the questions that you've submitted, and so we will try to answer those for you. Carolina?
Thank you. First of all, thank you for the really interesting presentation and for all the information that you gave to the students. I see here that we already have some questions. I would like to remind you that you still have time to do all the questions you want, so just write them in the Q&A box. So let's proceed with the first one. The first one is, would there be application fee waiver for joining this webinar?
Oh, for the webinar? Yes, we can definitely give you the application fee waiver. So yeah, just sign in and then we can provide that to you. We'll be in touch with you after this And then, yeah, definitely we can give you a code that you can enter after you fill out the application. It will ask you to pay or enter a code. And so we can give you that.
Great. And I take this occasion to remind you that in a couple of days, you will receive an email with the contacts of the university and some other useful information, and of course with the recording of this webinar. So if you want, you can take a look at it again and take all the information that you may have lost. So the next one is, could you provide some advice on navigating visa regulations and work permit challenges while pursuing studies and professional opportunities abroad?
Okay, yeah, so you can work while you are here on an F1 visa. If you can work part-time on campus, which is up to 19 hours per week, without my approval, basically. You can do that. Any student on an F1 visa can do that. The issue comes in working off campus. You're not allowed to work off campus because, again, the visa is not for employment purposes. It is for studying. Okay, so if you do work off campus, the only options for that are what's called CPT or OPT. And some programs offer that, or some of your degree programs will require an internship, a practicum, or some kind of employment. If you're taking a course, it may require that. And then that is called CPT. So you'll do curricular practical training. You do go through me to get approval for that. You can work off campus to do that. Again, you have to be enrolled in a 4-credit course to be able to take part in that and to work off campus. Once you graduate, you can take part in what's called OPT, optional practical training. That is after your bachelor's, undergraduate degree, and after your master's, that is available. And that is 1 year of employment in your field of study. And again, it can be on campus. You know, some of our departments have hired students on OPT to work, but it can also be with an off-campus employer, a nationwide employer as well. Yeah, so some of the challenges may be the financial aspect that basically, you know, you do need to show proof of funding before you come, that you do have funding available to pay for your studies, your mandatory insurance, your meals, your housing. But then, you know, you can work part-time while you're here to kind of to supplement that as well. Hopefully I answered all of that part of that question.
Thank you. And I think another one that could be connected to this one is about the accommodations, if you have any accommodations.
We do. We have accommodation on campus, on main campus, and River Park campus. So actually, if you're incoming as a freshman, which means a first-year undergraduate student, you are required to live on campus. And you will apply for that. I would send you that information when I issue your I-20. You will apply for housing. We also have, after your first year, a lot of students remain on campus. They like it. It's central to, you know, most things on campus. And so they do tend to stay. Cost-wise, it is, I would say, equivalent to living off campus. If you rent an apartment after your first year that is off campus, the on-campus housing is fairly equivalent to that cost-wise. And so if you decide to move off campus, that's fine. We have lots of apartment complexes in the area as well.
Thank you. Another question here that I've seen came into the Q&A box during, I think, the computer science presentation is we need to present a portfolio for these courses.
Yeah, I believe this might be related to the study abroad program courses, like how it works. So no, actually all students can participate in study abroad programs. And by the way, we have 20 different study abroad programs across campus. You do not have to really go with the computer science one, although I prefer for you to be with us, right? But you can go to Italy with arts, or you can go to Ireland with business, or you can go, I mean, there, you know, all over the world places that you can go to. I want to also take the chance to let you know that we have special type of courses, for example, independent study or undergraduate research. So you can actually take a course one-on-one, so you are the only one in the class with a professor to work on a research project or work on an independent study. The difference is one, the undergraduate research, you will have more like a term paper as the output from that course, but for independent studies, it's going to be more like, you know, software or like a deliverable kind of application or software. And this is based on your interest. So if you're interested, you just approach a faculty member, they approve your idea, and then you work with the professor over a whole semester to develop your application or software or work on your term paper. So these are special type of courses, each one, including study abroad program, each one is 3 credit hours, and all of them count towards your program of study.
Perfect, thank you. Do you have career days or partnerships with companies that we can contact after the courses?
So
Yes, definitely. Oh,
okay.
sorry, Dr. Hutton. We can both answer, I guess. We are connected here with the Career Center. They actually had yesterday a career day. They had employers coming on campus to look at students, meet with students. Students brought their resumes, their CVs to hand out to those employers. And I know the Career Center and as well as both Dr. Haddad and Dr. Finley work with employers from the community to assist you. And again, when I was talking about the CPT and the OPT, we work with them on that as well. So yeah, Dr. Haddad, if you have anything else, Dr. Finley.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to add that Career Center also helps the students to prepare their resumes. So they help them by reviewing their resume and help them to make it like professional, to look like professional resume. They also help with the attire if needed. So they provide support for the students to be well prepared for those events. And as Ms. Shaw said, we had our career day yesterday, and in the Turner College of Business, we had 15 different companies there to meet with the students.
Great, thank you so much. Another question is, how long does it take the process for the visa request? I'm from Colombia. Maybe if you want to give an answer in general for the Latin America students.
Yeah, definitely. It's so basically once you're accepted for admission and you send me that financial information, it all depends on how long that takes you to get to me before I can issue that I-20 document. So once, let's say I've issued the I-20, you're accepted for admission, then I will email that to you. You will then make an appointment online with the U.S. consulate in your country. And it just depends on the country as to how long that takes. Some countries, literally, you can make an appointment within 1 to 2 days and get to the consulate and then get your visa approved, maybe within another week or two of that. Other countries, some, they take weeks, sometimes months for a visa appointment to be available. You can, and I will send you the link to look this up. You can look up the visa wait times on the U.S. Department of State website, and it lists how long it takes in your particular country and in the city actually that you will be going to get your visa. So again, for South American countries, I think it is faster. So I would say maybe a couple of weeks at most. But again, it always depends on, the global situation, different things going on in the US and around the globe. So you can look that up again on that website as well.
Oh, of course, thank you. And yes, I see another question, similar question, that is, how long is the process for the admissions in general, I think?
Yeah, and again, it depends on various factors. It could be several weeks to a month or two. Again, how fast you submit your documents after you apply, all of that is, but I would say a few weeks to a month or two at most.
Of course, thank you. And I know that you mentioned this aspect before, but I don't know if you want to go deeper. Do you offer internships as well? I would love to do a practical experience in computer science.
Yeah, again, we can both address that. So yeah, you can do that again in connection with the course that you're taking. And we have micro internships that the Career Center can help you get, which means it's from a few days to a few weeks. You can do that for the whole semester on CPT, like I mentioned before. And Dr. Haddad and Dr. Finley give you some more detail about that.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Shaw. And I just want to add that also internships can count as courses towards your program of study. So you can do your internship, you work with a company, excuse me, and then it can count, as a course for you as well. And the equivalent experience for those students who cannot get an internship is really the independent study and undergraduate research, where you still get that kind of experiential learning, right, hands-on experience. So we try to provide different ways for students to have that kind of active learning, hands-on experience. And yes, on that School of Computer Science side, we help you guys, to get those type of internships. We get you in touch with the companies. we use our network here in order to help our students to have internships. I just want to mention last spring, we managed to get 19 of our students to have an internship at a company in the same semester, so that was a big thing to us. Thank you.
Thank you. And can you tell us more about the campus life and the students' activities?
Oh, yes, definitely. So we have a lot of activities, especially when you live on campus, in housing. So each floor of housing, and actually, let me share my screen. I wanted to show you some pictures of that. 1 second. There we go. Some pictures of that as well while I'm talking. There we go. So this is Clearview Hall. It is on Clearview Circle. This is our main student housing for undergraduate students. I think it has about 500 beds. And every week they have events and activities that you can take part in. There's an RA, which is a resident assistant on each floor. That is a student, an upper level student that is responsible for that floor. For events and different things. If you have any questions, you have any issues, you would go to your RA and talk with them about any issues that you have. And again, events are happening weekly. Movie nights. I can't even think of all the different types of events that we have. Someone can jump in if they like to help me with that. But we may have study abroad presentations. Yeah, Dr. Finley.
I was going to say, there's a lot of athletic events.
Thank you. The athletic events, definitely. We also have international athletes, so tennis, golfers as well, and they have a lot of tournaments, and we have that locally. We have baseball that you can take part in or watch. We have basketball tournaments, and this is actually a room that you will see here, like a common area in Clearview Hall. Some other scenes on campus. I was looking to see, here are some study rooms. I was looking to see if we had some athletic pictures. I don't know if we do. But yeah, we have many different options. We have about, 100 or more student organizations. I know Dr. Hadhad already said that they have some organizations related to her area. And then we also have others as well. We have an international club. We have an Asian EPIC club, CHISPA, which is an organization for Latin American, South American students. Oh my gosh, we have just so many different clubs on campus, and so many different opportunities for you to enjoy and take part in events. Also downtown, it's called our River Park campus, again, where the arts are located, art, theater, music. There is the River Center, and we have, here is an art gallery that shows art that we have downtown. Here is a theater in the River Center downtown that has musical events and different options. Here's a classroom. So yeah, we have a lot of different opportunities for you.
Fantastic, thank you.
I would add too, Michelle, so because I agree, there are so many opportunities, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's like a maybe not consolidated with everything list, but like a student challenge of 58 things to do or something that make sure you do it. Something like that, I believe exists. So that could possibly even be a good guide, let alone for someone who comes here, but maybe even to be shared with the group if they, if anyone wanted to see that at this time. I just can't remember exactly where that is, but Michelle, you probably have better knowledge on that than me.
I can find it, yeah.
Great, thank you. And another question here is about if you have a PhD in computer science. A student asks because he has already the Master of Science degree in computer science.
So unfortunately, we do not have a doctorate program. We do not have a PhD program at the School of Computer Science. We just have the master's degrees, but our students who already have master's degrees usually go to either Georgia Tech or Auburn. These are like sister universities in Georgia to pursue their PhD programs.
And he's also asking if the university offers graduate assistantship or research assistant.
Absolutely. So since this is international, for international students, I'm gonna leave it to Ms. Shaw to explain how this works.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we do have graduate assistantships, and I think 100 or more on campus. and you can apply for those as an international student. Yeah, that would be fine for employment purposes on your visa. And we do have many international students who take part in the graduate assistantship. So I would send you that information as well. You could see all the job postings through our human resources website and apply online for those postings, for those positions online as well. And yeah, you can definitely take advantage of those as an international student.
Fantastic, thank you. I see the last two questions here that are, and what about the exchange program, if you can give more information?
So our exchange programs are with, if this is hopefully what you're asking, with partner universities around the globe. And usually that happens where students they're nominated by their partner, their university that is a partner with us. And then they come here for either one semester or 1 year. And then our students would go to that university to make an exchange of students. So basically, there is a waiver of tuition for that here at CSU. You would pay your home tuition, whatever you pay at your home university, and then you would just pay housing, meals, and insurance here. And you would take the credit hours here, and they would transfer back to your home university. So again, that's possible with partner universities that we already have a partnership established. We do have a list on our website of our partner universities. So if you're coming from any of those, you can definitely check that out or email me. I'll give you more information.
Thank you. The last question is it expensive to live in Georgia?
The cost of living is not that expensive compared to other locations in the United States. So again, it's very affordable here. I know initially when you have to tell me or submit to me that you have to have, $34,000 for 1 year of study. I know that sounds like a lot, but that includes, again, everything, tuition, fees, meals, housing, everything for 1 year that you would need. Again, so the cost of living here is low compared to many other places. So you can always start out here if you like. If you do your bachelor's here and you want to transfer elsewhere for master's or PhD, as Dr. Haddad said, you may want to go to another school in Georgia that is more costly in that area or another school in the nation. But at least to start out here, if you want to do that, this is a very cost-effective and affordable way to start your studies in the U.S.
Great.
Yeah, Ms. Shaw, if it is safe to say that most of our students don't really spend the whole 34,000, it's just more, you can think of it as financial guarantee, because this is what the embassy is like to see, and also the university want to make sure that you have enough funds. But to be, for students in the School of Computer Science, I don't think they really reach, that maximum amount of money when they live here. It's pretty affordable, I would say. Thank you.
Thanks. And the another question that came up, that is, what is your opinion on working in an academic field more than in industry? What is your suggestion in these days?
I will leave that to Dr. Finley or Dr. Haddad to answer that.
One thing that we seek in the College of Business, in the business disciplines, and I think the same is true on the technology side, the computer science side, is one of the best combinations is for someone to have industry experience and then, and not necessarily in this chronological order, but to have a combination of practical and theory experience. And the accrediting body that I showed you before, AACSB, they are increasingly seeking that in our instruction and the instruction that we provide. So you as a student, what I would suggest is, I think I'm remembering the question correctly, but you want to, if you eventually wanted to teach business, say, I mean, I can speak from the business perspective, it would be, I think, a good thing for you to get some business experience in some industry somewhere somehow. I think that's more and more looked for by students, by accrediting bodies such as AACSB, and I think, dare I say, taxpayers, or the folks who support universities like ours?
I can just add three quick points. One, I know that many of our business students were able actually to start their own business, like they have startup companies here. So this is, and we have more like this kind of competition, like Sharks, if you're familiar with that program, TV program, where actually they present their ideas to a panel, and then they get, some like prizes, $10,000, for example, to to start their own company. So two quick points. I would say that the type of education we provide here at the Turner College of Business and Technology allows you to pursue both directions, like business or academia, or either one. So you are prepared for whichever. And in my opinion, you should pursue what you are passionate about. Whatever you are passionate about, you will be successful in that area. And this is the most important thing, that you are passionate about what you're doing, you like what you're doing, you succeed in what you're doing. So that's my input on this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that we can close with these really useful suggestions, and I've just shared in the chat the link to get the certificate of attendance for this webinar today. Again, I would like to remind you that you will receive the contacts from Columbus State University. So if you have any other questions, feel free to contact them and ask. And of course, you will receive the recording as well. So if you missed anything, you can rewatch the webinar and take all the information that you need. I would like to thank our panelists for being here with us today, for the really useful information and for the kindness and availability. And also, of course, I would like to thank you for your participation and for your curiosity. And of course, I hope to see you again in the next webinar organized by Doxity in partnership with Columbus State University. So thank you so much and have a really nice rest of the day.
Thank you all for attending. Thanks, Carolina. Goodbye.